All right, we've got our three friends over here. Mia, Mike, and Bryn are going to demo our new show workout today.
It's new show, it's new show. Why is it called new show? Nobody knows. It's new show.
Chris, you can put this on the screen from TTT Compete. Chris, are you going to put it on the screen for me right here? So look, right here on the screen somewhere. 5 sets, 15 or 11 cal echo bike, that's male, female respectively, 15 wall balls, 15 power snatches at 75, 55, 15 toes to bar, and then you'll finish again on the bike, 15, 11 cals, again, male, female respectively. You're gonna rest 90 seconds between each set, and your score is gonna be total time of all 5 sets. But we've told them today, and if you're in compete, you're gonna do the same thing, where your goal is that your last set is your fastest set. So we're gonna learn how to pace this year, make sure that we go hard in the first 4 sets, but we kick it as aggressively as we can in that last set. We'll talk to them. Oh, they're moving bikes. Hold on, we'll let them move some bikes real quick.
We decided to make more sense to look at the clock.
Yeah, that's called common sense, Mia. All right, Mia, what is your pacing strategy for the workout?
So I'd like to start at about my 10-minute pace for the first echo. I don't know if I can hold that for the second, but try to stay between like 1 and 2 RPMs. Wall balls unbroken, break the snatches, and then I'm going to decide how the toes to bar feel, either unbroken or break one time.
Yeah. And what's a target pace? If you did a round, what are you thinking that first round's going to be versus the last round?
Exactly the same.
Okay. All right, let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Mike McGoldrick. You are sweaty already, man. You okay? Are you stressing out?
A little bit. No, I'm super warmed up and ready.
What's your goal here?
Finish all the sets before the gym closes.
Mike has been talking about this workout for like 5 days, in case anybody's wondering. Turn around, you got a surprise guest behind you. Yeah. Hey, can you do like a snatch or a clean while keeping that on your head? Do one with this barbell right here. Let's see if you can do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is event 1 of the 2024 CrossFit Games. Travis Mayer's going down to grab the barbell.
You have to do it fast.
He picks it up. He gets it. He's in the squat clean. He stands it all the way up.
Snatch! Snatch! Overhead squat.
Yes. Oh!
Got him.
He got 1 rep. All right, Bryn, what's your pacing plan? You got 5 sets. The goal is your last set's your fastest, but total time is your score. So how are you going to pace this?
I'm going to pace the bike 10-minute time trial pace, and then try to just be smooth, unbroken on the other movements.
Unbroken on everything?
That's the plan. Maybe resting a little longer between them, but staying unbroken.
I love it. Let's see if she can stay unbroken. I tested this last week, and it's very challenging, but I think Bryn can do it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the clock. Here we go, 10 seconds. Again, this starts with a 15 or 11 cal echo and then goes into wall ball, power snatch, toe to bar, and echo. 2, 1, and go. I tested this last week because I wanted to see how it felt if I knew I was going to talk over it. And the first 2 and 3 rounds felt really, really good. I've been doing a lot of conditioning work, and I'm just giving you guys a baseline kind of where I'm at. But then round 4 and 5, I noticed that my grip was starting to go. So if you're going to do this, I think breaking the snatches or breaking your toe to bar if you're grip limited may be wise, because it really blew me up in that 4th and 5th round. Now, if you're really good at those movements, you can obviously go unbroken and maybe you pace the bike. For elite level athletes, like Bryn, she said she's gonna go unbroken on everything. That's also a really good strategy. So right now, Mia's at 296 watts, Mike's at 297, and Bryn is at, he's speeding it up, 351 watts. Bryn's at 228 watts. So again, they're all around their 10-minute pace. Mike's going a little bit slower in his first round because he wants to pace this correctly. I know that he was worried about blowing up in those 4th and 5th rounds. If you're doing a workout like this and you're thinking about, okay, what is the fastest way to get, or what's the best way to get your fastest total time, you certainly can't just go out guns blazing on the first round, red line, and then try to maintain it, even at the elite level. Now, they're able to just go faster from the beginning, but you can't sprint that first bike or sprint any of these movements. So you got to find a pace on the bike that you can sustain. I think that 10-minute pace is probably good for most higher level athletes. You'll be able to hold that, come back to the bike every single round, and still be able to maintain that pace for your 15 or 11 cals. But if you're not as resilient, or you're not as tolerant to the volume, then slowing that down like what Mike did on the bike is probably wise. Let's talk about some of these movements. You can see Mia here is doing a muscle snatch. Mia's pretty long for a female, so the muscle snatch I think for her is pretty efficient. She likes that. She's strong with her upper body, so it makes it a little bit easier. Whereas Mike, he's also really strong, but he's really efficient at dipping underneath the barbell. So he's doing a true power snatch, but he's not touching his hip. I really like this style with lighter barbells where you're not pulling it all the way into your hip. Chris, if you can get the side of Mike, you can kind of see where the barbell is just barely touching his thigh, bringing it up, dipping underneath it, and then getting up to full extension, quickly bringing the barbell back down. He's going to do one more set here. You can see this. Yeah, so it's never coming all the way into his hip like you would see maybe Mike do on a 225-pound snatch. More efficient. It's going to keep you from using as much energy as you otherwise would if you're having to really aggressively pull and get to extension. And that's the difference between CrossFit and weightlifting. Like, people all the time are like, well, CrossFitters have really bad. What do you want, Chris?
Is Mike going slow on purpose?
You're a hater. Mike's pacing it correctly here for his skill level and ability, I think, right now with endurance work. Going back to the Olympic lifting stuff, if you're a CrossFitter and you want to be good at the sport, your Olympic lifting technique when you're doing a 1 RM snatch or a 1 RM clean will be different than when you're doing 15 for time or 30 for time, a Grace and Isabel. And it's okay to have different technique. And the same thing's true on all the machines, right? Like, perfect rowing technique is not what you're going to do when you're in the middle of a workout that's really dense with deadlifts or really dense with wall balls. You got to find something that's using less energy but still allowing you to get the maximum output on each round. All right, so all three athletes are back to the bike. Mike has to do 15 cals. The ladies, again, are doing 11 cals. We're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Everyone looks pretty comfortable right now. And like I said, the first couple rounds felt comfortable, but man, let me tell you, it got really hard by the end. So Mia's actually faster than her previous pace. She's at 300 watts to finish that. She finished at 337. That's a really, really good split. Mike's in the high 200s right now, pacing this. Bryn is at 237. She has 1 cal left, and she is done. All right, so 337 for Mia, 350 for Bryn on this first round. The fun thing about these kind of workouts, and if we saw something like this at the games, I would absolutely love it. You want me to stare at the camera right now? The first round matters only about this much, right? You have to be able to pace all 5 rounds. So I'm interested to see if Mia and Bryn can keep those paces, because we saw this, like, for example, in quarterfinal workout 1, where everyone went out and did 15 snatches at 135 and 29 cals in the row for a male. And then all of a sudden by round 2 and round 3, they were down to like 6 snatches and they were down to maybe 12 cals in a row. You're losing so much there on those last few rounds. So pacing it correctly and still having output in your last couple of rounds matters. That's why we're doing this test. And in fact, if you're in TTT Compete or you're wanting to join, we're going to test this on week 1. We're going to run progressions all the way through our next training cycle. And then week 1 is July 15th. Actually, we're testing this on July 15th, so Monday, July 15th. And then you're going to retest this on week 7 of the training cycle. So we'll have 5 weeks, basically test, 5 weeks of training, and then a retest to see how much better you got. And if you're good at this, if you can maintain a high power output and kick on that last round, you're going to be good at almost any CrossFit style workout, which is why we're starting to introduce some of this in as we get closer and closer to kind of that qualifier season in the sport. All right, Mia's about to start her second round. There she goes. I'm interested to see if she can hold the same pace. And she is. She's right back to her 10-minute pace, doing a great job. She said she likes to look more at the RPMs instead of the watts. It's funny, like, everyone's different. I always look at the watts. I don't know why. I don't ever look at RPMs. But she said 63 to 64 RPMs. She's exactly at 64 right now, and she maintained that through the first round. Bryn just started, and she was at her 10-minute pace, which was 60, and she's exactly at that 60 RPMs again. So both of them exactly where they want to be. The goal here is to make sure that you do that through all 5 sets. And Mike is about to start his second round. 2, 1, he's off. And he's up to his working pace already. So all of them holding the same pace as they did on that first round. With a workout like this, they have it spaced out a little bit, but the key here too is not just going fast or having good movement speed, but also your transitions. We talk about this in our throwdowns all the time. And Mia did a great job in that first round, and then again a great job here, going straight from the echo, no dead time, right to the wall ball, squat cleaned it, and then started her first rep. maximizing or optimizing, I guess I should say, your transitions in the sport, people don't think about it, but it matters so much in a longer workout. You think about a 20-minute AMRAP in the open, where there's rowing and double unders and deadlifts. The people that were standing around when they didn't need to, just because they felt like they should slow down their transitions, lost a lot of time in a long workout like that. So if you're fit enough, then really push your transitions. If you're not that fit, and you want to practice it, then the best way to do that is maybe you have to break your wall balls in this workout 5-5-5. That's fine, but still transition fast to the wall balls, transition fast to the power snatch, transition fast to the toe to bar, and just do smaller sets. That's still a really good way to practice your transitions. Mia's still doing her muscle snatches. They still look really good. The one thing that when I did this workout I noticed was I also muscle snatched, and it blew my grip up. I mentioned that on the toe to bar in the last round. Something about doing the muscle snatch where I had to almost like create a little more tension in my shoulders, biceps, and forearms blew me up a little bit. Let's see if Mia can maintain it. Her toe to bar are definitely better than mine, so she probably will be able to maintain that. But there's something to note for those that aren't as enduring on the toe to bar.
Pro tip, you want to close your eyes. Look at that.
Yeah, oh, the eyes are closed. She's just breathing smoothly, no issues. Those are beautiful toe to bar. Most people's toe to bar don't look that nice. Pan over to Bryn real quick. She's finishing her power snatches, and now she's transitioning over to the toe to bar. I wanted to point out how she has a wider stance in her snatch, so next time I'll come back to that. But it's actually a really smart tactic. If they allow you to have a wider stance, wider arm width, you're shortening the overall range of motion of the movement, which just speeds it up. And Bryn's a little bit shorter than Mia, so let's say they were going head to head in this workout and they were on the snatches at the same time. Bryn's are actually going to be a little bit faster just by that shorter range of motion. So those are things to think about. The same thing's true on your wall balls. Widening your stance out shortens your range of motion, allows you to get your hip crease below your knee where you're not bottoming out all the way into the bottom of the squat. Those are all really helpful tips if you're trying to optimize your performance. All right, I'm going to come over here and just check out Mia's pace real quick. Man, she is doing such a good job. She's still at 64, exactly what she wanted with her pace. Bryn's getting on the bike right now, and she is already back to her pace, which is 60 RPMs. One of the things on the bike that I noticed when I was doing it is the third, fourth round for me were really hard to get to my working pace on the second transition, or on the way back to the bike, I should say. So if you're doing this, another thing to practice is even if you're blown up, try to get to that working pace right away, and if you have to kind of fluctuate a little bit, you can. All right, Mia's probably not gonna be able to talk, but just one word answers. I know you're tired. How do you feel?
Okay,
Do you think you can maintain that pace?
maybe.
Grip, any fatigue locally?
Yes, but only after toes to bar, which I don't need my grip anymore
Okay,
for a while.
cool. We'll see. Her toe to bar looked really good in that set. Her snatches still looked really good. I think it was smart to break the snatches every round. Did you do 1 or 2 breaks in the snatch?
2 breaks.
2 breaks. Yeah, I think 2 breaks makes sense because her toe to bar are super fast right now. Like I said, if you're someone that has a grip limitation and you blow up on your toe to bar in like round 3 or round 4, you're costing yourself probably 40, 50 seconds in the workout, and that's going to happen round 3, round 4, round 5, and all of a sudden your time goes from, let's say you average 4 minutes a round to 4:45 a round. That's going to be costly. All right, Bryn just finished that round at 9:50. Again, doing 11 cows. Let's talk. How do you feel?
A little tired.
What's the hardest part right now?
The bike.
Is it just breathing, your heart rate,
Heart rate. Yeah.
toe to bar, power snatch, any grip limitations? I was just asking Mia about that.
Not quite yet, because I'm not like biking fast enough to like get there. That's not like it's enough time.
You think you can maintain that pace?
I might fall off on the bike today.
Yeah, she still looks good. I mean, both of them held their pace the entire time. Mia's already back. She's on her 3rd round now. Mike's finishing his 2nd round at 10:25. Look at this. Hold on, you got to see this. So Mike took his box over there, okay? And here's why. I'm gonna slowly zoom up and look at that fan. It doesn't look like it's spinning that fast, but that thing puts off a lot of air. So wise choice by Mr. McGoldrick. All right, while Chris is looking at Bryn, I'm gonna look at Mia's pace. So she is at 64 RPMs again. That was her 10-minute pace. That's the goal. If she can maintain that throughout, that is just really, really, really good pacing. I don't think people realize, like even a 10-minute pace here may feel good in round 1, but by the time you get to round 4 and 5, it's gonna be really hard to do that, and that means that you're a really fit athlete. Being able to recover quickly in 90 seconds is impressive. Biggest limitation right now?
Gas tank.
Did you put in that ethanol?
My grip's a little blown up, but it's just like breathing lungs.
My bike too.
Yeah, Mike just said, you probably didn't hear it, but he said his bike pace is slowing down a little bit. That was another really, really good transition from Mia. Right now, she's putting on a master class in pacing and transitions. Her movement speed's also really good. Mia, I said this earlier, she's just longer than the average female athlete, so her wall balls probably take, I don't know, a tenth or 2/10 of a second longer, I should say, than maybe Bryn's, but she's doing a really good job transitioning quickly. Now her speed is actually picked up on the power snatches. I wonder if she is going to just pick up the first 6 and then slow down that speed as she goes. One of the things that was helpful for me is I would do 10 really fast. I kept all my snatches unbroken, but I did 10 really fast. In my last 5, I actually paused just for like a half second overhead, like 11, 12, and 13, to recover a little bit before I got over to toe to bar, because like I said earlier, my goal was to transition as quickly as I could to the toes to bar and be able to do those unbroken. All right, so yeah, she slowed down a little bit on the snatches, her last 4 there, but they still look really good. So 12:26 is when she finished. Let's see how long this takes her to kick up to the toe to bar. She's at 6, 7, and 8 second transition. That's still elite level transitions. So Bryn maintained her pace. She's right on her normal split. You can see her transitions are just a little bit slower to the wall balls right now. Wall balls still look good. And you notice here, if you can get her stance, you can see Bryn's stance is a little bit wider than Mia's. And this is one of the things I was talking about. If you have hips that are open enough, you have good internal rotation, you can widen your stance out a little bit, and it actually shortens that depth, which is a good thing. You still want your hip crease to go below your knee, but you want to limit the range of motion so you're not bottoming out all the way in the bottom of that squat. All right, Mia's back on. This is set number 3, and she is now at 63 RPM, so still within her 10-minute range. She's at 63 to 64. She's doing a really, really good job of maintaining that. All right, let's take a look at Bryn's power snatches here. You can see her also not touching the hip. She's farther out than Mike was, and I'm pretty far out too with 75 or 55 pounds. My technique's pretty similar to Bryn's. I would say for most people though, unless you have really good shoulder mobility, it's probably better just to keep it a little bit tighter and brush if needed. If you feel confident with that and you can bring the barbell that far out with that light of load, it doesn't blow your shoulders up, it's a fast and efficient way to do it. All right, Mia finished exactly at 14 minutes, so she has 2 more sets. This is where it got real, folks. This is where it got real. Mike still looks really smooth. He's still breathing fine. I think he's holding back a little bit. I'm interested to see if Mike can kick hard on this last round. Bryn's going over to her toe to bar now. This is probably her longest transition of the day. So if I'm coaching Bryn up here, I'd say, hey, look, the better, I think, pacing plan for her would be go directly to the toe to bar and just do a set of 6 or do a set of 5, whatever she can manage, and then take that rest, and then do another set of 5, take a rest, and then finish with whatever's left, 4 or 5 reps to get to 15. She took a pretty long break there, and I think she's going to try to keep these unbroken. I mean, that's still a good training. If you're wanting to just do really big, dense sets, that's perfectly fine. But I think if you're looking at the sport, sometimes big sets aren't required, and it's just, again, it's all about total time or how many reps you can get. And for most athletes, even the best in the world, doing smaller sets with really short rests will allow you to get there a little bit faster than a big set. Yes, sir? You having fun? Are you having fun yet? All right, Mia's about to start round 4. So I've got Mia's board over here while Chris is watching Mike. Her first round was 337. Her second round was 338. Her next round was 342. Wow, so she's real. I mean, these are really solid. 337, 338, 342, all within 5 seconds of each other. Let's see if she can maintain that. She's already working again, and she's at her 10-minute pace, which is 64 RPMs. Great job of being as sustainable as possible. Really, really impressive. If you're watching, yeah. Oh, pegboard. You want to watch Alexis go? Oh no, she just stopped. All right, well, Alexis will go again in a second. You can watch Travis, whatever he's doing. Travis, what are you doing over here?
100 feet.
Why are you just standing over here underneath the ring?
I go at 12.
Okay, well, talk to me until. What's your strategy?
Move fast on my hands as fast.
All right, here he goes. Oh, man. The man, the myth, the legend. He's moving. He's moving. I'd prefer to see his fingertips a little bit more forward, but, you know. Who's judging the 9 times games athlete? That was a really good turnaround. What do you think about Travis's handstand walk? It's slowing down right now.
I think if you don't use it, you lose it.
Good point. Oh, no, he lost it.
Yeah. I said if you don't use it, you lose it.
Wait, was that 100 feet?
Yeah.
To here? Oh, to the bucket. So you got to go down and then to the
60,
bucket.
40.
Okay, I got you. He's
The
at
one lane
60-40,
out
he said.
For 100 has been taken.
That's
by
fair. The sweaty mess over there.
whatever this is.
I thought that was a mole.
All right. Mia is crushing her 4th set. We're not even watching her. She's doing her power snatches right now. She's kept every single set to the same pace on the bike. She is doing 3 unbroken wall balls, 3 sets in the power snatches, and she's kept her toe to bar unbroken so far. So I'm interested to see what the set looks like. All right, let's see the transition. The last time I think we said was 8 seconds. She's already at 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, masterclass pacing. That was exactly the same transition. And look, Chris, she's got her eyes closed. So good. The eyes are closed. She's dreaming of a white Christmas. Oh yeah, she's gonna keep them unbroken again. And if she does this set unbroken, she has to do unbroken on her last one. Well done. Quick transition to the bike. Reset the clock. Oh yeah, all my friends that do this workout, don't forget, reset your monitor. And you gotta do it yourself. All right, boom, already back to her working pace. This is like, I know I keep giving her compliments. I gotta give her like a negative at some point today, but it's really good pacing. All right, and Bryn is on to her 4th.
11 cows on the bike.
Mike saying 11 cows is not enough for the ladies. He talking trash.
Losers make excuses.
Go ahead and say it again.
Losers make excuses.
All right, she's at 7 calories right now at 64 RPMs. That's her 10-minute pace. That's what she wanted to hold. 2 cows left. Bryn's pace has dropped off just a little bit. I think she needed to back off on the bike a little bit. When you do a workout like this and there's 30 calories on the bike, the majority of your time is going to be spent on the bike. Being really good on the machines is super helpful. Do you have to be great on the machines to be good at CrossFit? I mean, probably not to make a quarterfinal or to be competitive, but if you want to make a semifinal now, or if you want to be a games level athlete, I think that there should be a lot of time spent on the machines, just because, 1, it's going to help your overall aerobic capacity, but 2, there's so many tests with running, biking, rowing that are mixed into the season. That's just really beneficial to be good at those. Obviously, a bigger athlete's going to be a little bit better at most of the machines, though, so it's really hard if you're a smaller athlete. You better be good at your gymnastics to offset being not as good at the machines, and that goes for anybody that's doing the sport. All right, Bryn is, you keep asking to do the pegboard. Chris,
pay attention.
I'm watching Bryn do her wall balls. One thing you'll notice when Bryn was going is she actually kind of does the basketball shot too, like Travis Mayer, where the wall ball is to one side, so she has it on her right side. And Mike does a little bit of this too. The ball is on his right side. Like, zoom in on Mike real quick. If you can see where the ball is landing, it's on the right side of his face. He turns his cheek to the left or his head to the left. I see a lot of people do it, so I assume that it's efficient. I kind of like just having it neutral, so not, I don't like the feeling of one side blowing up. And if I go to my right side or go to my left side, I feel that arm working a little bit more. But Travis swears by it. Bryn was doing it. Mike's doing it. So play around with that, see if it works for you. All right. Hey, listen, Mia is on her last set at 20 minutes on the clock, 20:45. She's at her working pace right now, so 10 seconds in, she was already there. She's picking up her pace even, now she's at 65. I absolutely love it. I'm excited because I'm gonna yell at her to go a sprint pace on her last bike, and I hope she's listening to me right now, so I'm putting pressure on her. Nicole just ninja kicked the rig. You missed it. It was awesome.
Yeah, that J-hook sucks.
The J-hook over there is stuck. It's pretty bad. All right, you can see what happens here in round 4. We got Mike and Bryn both pretty messed up. Hold on, let's turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an update. Alexis Raptis is doing a pegboard climb. Oh man, this is smooth. Boom. Now, can she make her way down? Yes, she can. Whoa, whoa, that was impressive. Great job!
Oh, thank you.
I don't want to, hey, I can't interrupt her. She's in the middle of a session right now. But one thing that you notice, she skips like 4 holes on the way down, and most people can't do that, but that's like super efficient if you can do that. Well, I thought you were falling on that one, but if you can do that, it helps a lot, and it's less time under tension. You can see how fast she came down. And it's kind of the same thing with a rope climb, right? Like everyone thinks about how fast can I get up the rope, but most people don't think about how fast you can get down the rope. And being able to have a fast descent, less time under tension, less time for your arms to blow up, and then obviously less total time for the rope climb, so something to think about. Mia is, again, on her last round. She's doing her power snatches, so she has these 15, then 15 toe to bar, and 11 cows on the bike, and she will be finished. All right, that was set number 1. You can see the speed has slowed down a little bit, but her overall pace is still just really, really good. When I say speed, I meant movement speed. In this workout, you can't just sprint any of these movements, so having a little bit of a pause at the top or a little bit of a breath at the bottom of a wall ball, like those things are okay because we still want to have our like max sustainable pace on all 5 sets. All right, set number 3. Boom, and she's done. Let's see this transition. Last 2 have been 8 seconds. She's at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and okay, let's add it on. 8.5 seconds there. So her last 3 transitions were basically the exact same. Again, really, really good. Her eyes are closed, which is going to help her speed this up. And then we're going to yell at her. I need everyone that's watching this to get really excited and yell at Mia when she gets on the bike here in a second so she can sprint these last 11 cows. Bryn just finished her 4th set at 23:26. All right, here we go. Let's go, Mia. Last set, 11 cows. Let's do it. Let's see how long it takes her to get to her working pace. And she is there at 8 seconds. Man, that's just really good. Now she's over it. She's at 68 RPM, 69 RPMs. And 4 cows down. Come on, Mia, push this last little bit. Dig here, dig. Arms, legs, arms, legs. Great job, great job. Almost there. Come on, finish strong. Everyone knows the pain that she's in right now. It's fun watching someone execute really well, though. And done. 24:17 on the clock. That was so, so good. We'll talk to her in a second. I'm not going to make her talk right now. All right, Mike is done now with round 4. It's taken Mike about 1 minute and 20 seconds or so to get those 15 cows. Are you just making up your training, or is someone actually writing it?
That's a good question. I don't know who my coach is right now, so I'm just picking things that look fun.
Randomly did a handstand walk, got the yoke out, gonna put some weight on it. You gonna pick it up, or no? Just gonna yeah. Are you doing a front rack, back rack, or overhead?
Back rack. Over.
I mean, just strict press it or something. I don't know.
320 something pounds.
So Max challenged Travis to a 10-round workout.
No, I challenged.
10 rounds for time, 250 meter ski, 10 bench press at 185.
Correct.
And you did it.
I did it.
Do you want to say your time publicly, or just leave that alone?
I don't really.
Yeah, okay. All right. And now Max has to do it, and we'll film it,
Correct.
and we'll
And
talk
you
over
have to
that.
do it, though.
Yeah, I will definitely get last place.
This was a workout that we all did together years ago.
Yeah.
And the other day I felt like I should do it again. And now I challenge both of them, him and Maxwell.
The problem is this the only workout that Max could beat both of us in, I think.
Correct.
Because his bench press is so good.
Better, yeah. I broke up a lot.
Yeah. Max's bench press he's training right now, but even without training, he could do them unbroken. And we're like sprinting on the ski to do sets because we're both weak on the bench, unfortunately. All right, last round for Bryn. She's got 1 cow left, and she is there. Mike's starting his last round. While she's going, Chris, I'm going to talk to Mia real quick. Mia.
Yes.
I don't like giving you compliments, even though you're my friend.
Here, I have a
But that was, white girl summer. That was probably the most impressive pacing I've seen in a long time. So do you feel like you did everything correctly? Could you have gone any faster at any point in the workout?
I don't think I could have done the work in the middle any faster because the toes bar got really hard every round. So I think if I would have not broken the snatches, I would have either had to rest longer in a toes bar or break them up. Execution wise, I think just trying to get to my pace faster. I think it would take me between 8 and 11 seconds. If I could get there between like 6 to 8, which is very difficult for me to do on the Echo bike. So that sounds like a little thing, but it's a big thing. Yeah. So that's what I think I would work on.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, but for those that haven't used the Echo bike a lot, it's so much harder than some of the other bikes, like the Assault bike used to be, where it takes a while to get to your working pace. But practicing that in a workout like this could be really helpful. The one thing you got to be aware of, though, for those athletes that are going to do this, is if you get to your working pace really fast and you blow yourself up, then you're screwed for the rest of the workout. So you just got to be really thoughtful of that. With the toe to bar, was it grip or was it something else that made them challenging at the end?
It was grip and shoulders. Yeah. I actually felt like my breathing recovered on toes to bar. Like after 6, I felt better, but then from like 11 to 15, my grip started going. And on the last Echo bike, I was like consciously not using my arms a lot. And if I was, it was only pushing, not pulling.
Yeah, it's funny. I felt the exact same way where my breathing actually calmed down on the toe to bar, but I like completely blew up on the toe to bar with my shoulders and my arms, just like Mia just said. All right, so we're watching Bryn. Mike finished their last round. Bryn is on her toe to bar. Mike's doing his wall balls. So Mike, I don't know how many reps he just did, but he broke the wall balls. That's a wise choice. All of these movements you can break and not cost yourself too much. The one thing on the power snatch is if you have these smaller plates and they bounce around and you break, you gotta just make sure you kind of shove the bar to the ground so you're not bouncing the power snatch all over, or your barbell all over the ground. All right, Bryn's on her last bike. Let's get it, Bryn. Come on, push yourself here. Great job. She's well over her 10-minute pace now. It's a really good kick at the end. Yeah, great job, Bryn. So she's like 6 RPMs over her 10-minute pace right now. Now 7 or 8 over. She's got 5 calories left. Come on, big kick, arms and legs, Bryn, arms and legs. Let's go. Yep. Just close your eyes and go. There we go, there we go. 2 cals left. 1 calorie. Finish all the way through, Bryn. Nice. 29:01 for Bryn. That was a really good kick at the end. One thing just to note is make sure that when you're doing anything, any CrossFit workout that finishes with a machine, just finish all the way through the prescribed calorie. I see so many people that finish with 1 cal left and kind of like let off on the row or let off on the bike. It doesn't seem like it costs you much, but even if it's 3 or 4 seconds, just learn to kick all the way through the time or all the way through the prescribed calorie, all the way through the prescribed meters, whatever it may be that you're doing. All right, Mike's got 15 toes to bar, 15 calories on the Echo bike, and then he is finished with this session. He still looks pretty good, but I know that inside he doesn't feel very good. You know when your insides just don't feel good, Chris?
Yeah, I do know that.
It's a brutal feeling. Okay, good first set. Here you go, right back on it.
Street food in New Orleans once did that to me. Don't ever get a hot dog in New Orleans on this.
Was this Mardi Gras?
It may have been, but whew.
You know, I've actually never been to New Orleans. New Orleans.
One of my favorite cities.
You said that all the time. What's your favorite food spot?
In New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh man, I forget the name of it, but it's I'll put it on the screen.
Did you get beignets?
Sure didn't. Well, I mean I did, but that's not at this place I'm talking about.
Okay. That's all I know. Hey, they do have good coffee though. One of our coaches, Ryan Sullivan's from that area, and he brought me coffee from some roaster there. It was amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the last 15 calories for Mike McGoldrick. Good, man. Ride easy until you feel like you can kick, then get after it. As all of you know that have watched our channel for a while, Mike is an extremely powerful athlete, and he can ramp the bike, the row, a sled, whatever, faster than almost anybody. But the problem is when you're super powerful, it's hard to be sustainable or hard to be enduring in a workout like this. And once you blow up, you just don't feel like you have any energy left. So for someone like him, I'd say, hey, ride easy until you feel like, okay, now I can really tap into my potential. And he's at 7 cals right now. When he gets to 9, I'm going to tell him to kick. All right, Mike, come on. Put the hammer down now. You got it. Good, good. So he just picked his pace up by about 8 RPMs. Nice. Come on, finish strong here. 3 cals. One more cal for Mike. And he's there, 31-23, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to Mike last, but let's go ahead and bring it over to Bryn. So what happened we talked after round 2, and you said the bike was going to drop off. It did a little bit.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I kind of, like, I don't want to make excuses, but this is my second week training CrossFit since quarterfinals. So, like, I knew my engine wasn't there, so I figured, like, I might as well, like, work on, like, grip and, like, higher dense movements, knowing, like, I'm not conditioned enough right now to, like, quickly transition and do small sets. You need an engine for that. So I kind of just played this as, like, where I am now, not, like...
So you're doing more training. Like we even talked about it. One of your sets, you took a longer rest, and then you did unbroken toe to bar. That was kind of a goal for you to see, like, can I do the dense sets?
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, work on grip fatigue because that's the thing I need to work on.
Yeah.
And I, like, this also was engine-y without being, like, crazy, if that makes sense.
Right. What was the hardest movement? Was it the bike?
I think the bike.
And then of the 3 here, where should people pace?
The wall balls were tough. But after, like, the wall balls, it kind of felt like a home stretch.
Yeah, like you knew you could do the toe to
like
bar.
I wasn't gonna, I could fail a wall ball. Like I could. Maybe, I don't know if anyone else can, but like I fail wall balls all the time. And I knew I wasn't gonna fail a power snatch or a toes to bar. So like after that, it was like a little relief.
Right, right. Well done. Let's talk to Mike while he's breathing hard.
Hi. What's up?
How'd that feel, man?
I mean, it felt pretty good. My bike felt really slow today. It was taking a lot out of me trying to push it all.
Do you feel like you just power was zapped by the time you got off the first bike?
I haven't done a lot of long intervals like that. I've been doing only machines, and like mixed movements are just way different. Like yesterday I did triangle progressions and was holding 18 calories on the minute, fine. Yeah. Going into other machines, so it just goes to show how different for some people mixed movements are. And then when it does you going back to a machine, like I was like 250 watts in that second set at 15 calories.
Man, that's such it's such a good point for athletes. You want to build a big base on the machines, but we said this on a podcast actually recently with Kyle Ruth talking about endurance. You have to at some point mix the machines or body weight movements that are kind of easy, fast turnover with the CrossFit, because otherwise it never transfers. And Mike, that's what he's talking about. He could crush just the Echo bike by itself. You mix it with this stuff, it's a completely different stimulus. So make sure you're mixing it, and that's what we're going to do this training cycle. All right, we're going to finish everything up, talking to some games athletes. Look at this. He hasn't done one thing. Have you worked out yet? What are you doing?
I work for 10 seconds and then I rest for 3, okay? It's a great strategy right now.
Every time we look over here, you're sitting on this box or standing underneath the rig.
And that's what it's part about, okay? Rest is key. This is part of the issue that people always think more is better. More is better.
You not be saying that.
What do you want me to say? That I'm getting better right now. You just complained about every movement you just did and how you were going to skip the yoke because I was using it.
All right, a serious question. How many workouts have you guys done head-to-head over the last couple of weeks since you started games training?
Not that many. No. Maybe 2 or 3 a week.
All
so maybe like 6 right now.
Who, if there's a leaderboard, let's just say there's an imaginary leaderboard.
Dominating that leaderboard right now. Domination.
What's your record right now?
She's only got me on 1. No. Yes. That freestanding handstand push-up one. That's the only one you got me on.
All right.
Yeah. I'm easing back into it. I'll be back.
Hey, the only thing that matters is at the games, the week of, what is it, August 4th or something like that?
We do compare semifinals because we had our own side bet. Hold on. Zip it. With the competition was times against each other at semifinals.
No, that's not how it works. It's the leaderboard. It's the leaderboard. And I think she was higher on the leaderboard.
She's in a different division, so it doesn't count. So we're going off of times. If we were competing here, if we did those workouts, I would have won more. So the competition, when we said it, I said, look, when we're going, if they give you the microphone, you say, who are you here to compete against? And I said, I was going to say her. In a different division, everything. But the competition was against her.
Alexis, what say you?
Okay, I think I still got the throne because I took second and he took like 10. But
Yeah, there's an 8-person gap there somewhere.
Give me this new show mic back. But you have to count the 9 years I've done it counts for more. So and then the kids, everything, right? So it's actually like you deduct all of that. It's actually like I had a negative placement. I'm actually doing better than most.
I'll give you the kids thing, but she's also younger, so she has more time. What if she has 9 years? Then are you going to give her the throne?
She ain't making it that long.
She's gonna games, and I will never get her wrong.
Something Max has always taught me. You just always be ruthless, and that's what I'm here to do. Provide that for you.
All right, next new show, we'll watch these two go head to head.